I am so proud to hold before you and simply say, captured. This is Amir Edwards, and based on an incredible joint investigation, Mr. Edwards has been arrested by the Hazleton Police Department for homicide. On September 11th, 2014, the Hazleton Police Department was called to 615 Cleveland Street at 5:48 a.m. for the report of a stabbing. Upon the initial patrol officer's arrival, Zachary Richards was in fact still alive and bent over in the entryway and stairwell. Shortly thereafter, upon EMS's arrival, Mr. Richards passed away. The Hazleton Police Department detectives, Special Operations Group, Patrol Section, in coordination with the Office of Attorney General, the Pennsylvania State Police, both their Crime and Forensic Services Unit, the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office, the Luzerne County Detectives, the West Hazleton Police Department, Butler Township Police Department, the Luzerne County Coroner, and the Hazleton Fire Department all collectively worked on this investigation. I'm going to pause for 1 second. Please come in and join us. Please, this is so much more about the members of the task force, the impromptu task force that took place on this, than it is about me standing here. As we were at 615 Cleveland Street, it was soon learned that Mr. Richards was in fact the brother of an assistant district attorney from Luzerne County. As soon as we learned that, we again contacted District Attorney Salavantis, at which time the district attorney felt that so there would never be any hint of impropriety, she and her prosecutorial team would recuse themselves from prosecuting this case. And at their request and suggestion, we immediately contacted Attorney General Kane and the Attorney General's office from Pennsylvania. Without even breaking stride, General Kane had immediately assigned her own task force to include investigators and deputy attorney generals to assist the Hazleton Police Department. Shortly thereafter, the Hazleton Police Department had learned that, in fact, the suspect from the homicide was linked to, or possibly linked to, the state police's investigation of the Tresckow superfoods in Carbon County, Pennsylvania. Immediately, since the State Police Forensic Service Unit was already processing the crime scene, we relayed that information to them. They contacted their superiors back at Troop N Hazleton, and as is always the case, Troop N Hazleton sent the entire crime unit to be at the city's disposal to assist in not only our homicide investigation, but what immediately turned into a joint investigation for our crime of homicide and their Tresckow Superfoods robbery. Collectively, working through the day and into the evening, we developed the pertinent information that led us to Amir Edwards. Mr. Edwards was at the time believed to be residing at 113 Pine Street in the city of Hazleton. During the course of our undercover units and the local police departments that had assisted us not only with the initial call, but also coming to our support when we're going to try and serve a high-risk search warrant on what we believe is a fleeing felon, a murderer, we set up perimeter around the house at 113 Pine Street. During this time, and prior to that, while we were at several other locations throughout the city, the the stakeout teams, so to speak, had observed a silver Mitsubishi Diamante passing and frequenting all of the areas that we're looking for Mr. Edwards. The Special Operations Group, the Pennsylvania State Police, and the local police, both Butler Township, West Hazleton, along with the Hazleton Police Department and the Hazleton Fire Department, converged upon 113 Pine Street. After announcing multiple times requesting Mr. Edwards come out, we entered the house with a search warrant, and Mr. Edwards was nowhere to be found. As luck would have it for us, we observed the same silver Mitsubishi Diamante happened to drive past 113 Pine Street while 40 to 50 law enforcement officers, the fire department, EMS, and probably at least 15 different vehicles, lights activated, have surrounded the house. A group of the law enforcement officers followed the vehicle, were able to successfully stop the vehicle, and Mr. Edwards was apprehended at the intersection of Wyoming and Broad Street without incident. Mr. Edwards has been charged with 1 count of criminal homicide. The arrest warrant has been filed with Magistrate Joseph Sola, and when we're done here today, Mr. Edwards will be transported from Hazleton City Hall to Magistrate Sola's for his arraignment. 9/11 is a day off for a lot of people to try and reflect on 13 years ago. Many of my officers at the fire department were looking forward to ceremonies that were going to take place that day for us to pay our respects to our fallen brothers and sisters. However, unfortunately for us, at 5:48 in the morning on September 11th, our thoughts about trying to reflect on past crimes were put to the side because of a homicide. Working relentlessly and around the clock, the Hazleton Police Department, to include the detectives, and specifically Detective Corporal Roddick, Detective Joseph Labert, Detective Sergeant Zientek, and my now Administrative Lieutenant Zapovsky, in concert with the state police and everyone else I've mentioned, relentlessly put all of their personal thoughts aside and worked to bring Mr. Edwards to justice. I can only thank not only all of those individuals, but I like to refer to all of these different agencies as branches of the military, because we are at war, and it's a war on crime. And the fact is that as we bring other municipal departments and county departments and state agencies and federal agencies, to include the DEA and the FBI, together, there's no doubt that we can win this war. And my hat is off to all of the people that supported us, and I would like to particularly thank General Kane and the Attorney General's office, because I like to refer to them always as the cavalry. Without hiccuping, without hesitating, General Kane stepped forward, and they just race in and assist us to bring this to a successful prosecution and a successful fruition. I am gracious for all their involvement, for everyone involved. I'd like to thank them personally and professionally. I'd like the people of this entire community to be able to breathe a sigh of relief that we've taken one more murderer off of our streets. And I'd like to ask General Kane if she'd like to make any comments at this time. General, thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. First, on behalf of myself and the entire Office of Attorney General, I cannot even express how sorry we are to the family of Zachary Richards. We will never understand the senseless killings. We will never understand your sorrow, but we want you to know that through it all, we are there for you. I myself have a son named Zach, and I can't even imagine what they're going through. But I want you to know that as you're making preparations to lay your son and your brother and your friend to rest, we are going to be continuing to work tirelessly to bring this horrendous criminal to justice. We will not stop. We are working presently, and we will work until the justice system has done its job and Mr. Edwards is behind bars where he belongs. To the citizens of Hazleton, we are always here for you. I can't even tell you enough how the cooperation between the Hazleton Police Department, West Hazleton, Butler Township Police Department, the Pennsylvania State Police, as well as the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office, has solved this crime in a matter of hours. In a matter of hours, a murderer was taken off your streets. I want you to appreciate that, and I want you to rest well. Because when we say that we're here for you, we mean it. And I hope that by our presence today and our presence yesterday, and by converging a team and working so well with all of our partners in law enforcement, you feel some comfort in the fact that while senseless acts happen, you have somebody on your side. So we will be there continuously. I also just want to echo what the chief has said, and we can't say it enough. Working together, we make strong teams, we make strong partners, we get criminals off of the streets. By 8 o'clock yesterday morning, I had a call that this murder had occurred, that our assistance was needed. We immediately converged a team of 4 agents, 1 Deputy Attorney General, up to Hazleton. They worked tirelessly with the Pennsylvania State Police, tirelessly with Hazleton PD, who always does a great job, West Hazleton, Butler Township, and the Luzerne County detectives. And because of that cooperation, and because of the fact that they work so well together, within 15 hours, a murderer was in custody and taken off the streets. So I want to thank all of them for their participation. I again assure you that this case will be prosecuted by the Attorney General's Office, by Deputy Attorney General Dan Dye. It will be, the investigation will be overseen by Special Agent Kevin Weavido, who is here. And I also want you to know that we will continue to be working. As the information continues, we will let you know what has developed, because it is ongoing, it is continuing, and I think that because of this investigation, your communities are safer. So I thank everybody for their participation, and I thank you, Chief, for always being so gracious and allowing us into your community. It's our job, and we appreciate doing it. And my heartfelt condolences as well to the Luzerne County DA's office. We ourselves in the AOG has lost we lost a Deputy Attorney General a couple of months ago. We know what you're going through, and we're sorry, and we want you to know that we're here for you as well. Thank you.